to my YouTube channel. Right, when we did the CT pumps, the logic for the CT pumps, I touched on alarms, but the video was too long to start doing alarms as well, so I thought we'd do a separate video for the alarms. So this was, if you haven't seen this video, by all means watch this video if you want to know how to write logic. This is for 2-pump rotation. It works, we've tested it on the video. We had some issues, we corrected the issues, and it works fine. But that's what we're not talking about this today. We're talking about the alarm side of it. Now, we made some alarms for maintenance, and a critical alarm and a default alarm that comes with the system, with the Mac 36. So we go into our alarms, and there's the maintenance alarm and the critical alarm, and we've got quite a few alarms there at the moment which we're going to clear at the moment. So I'll show you how to clear the alarms without, I'm going to clear them completely from the station. So we don't have any alarms in its history at all. So AX database maintenance, and I'm going to clear all alarms and run maintenance. Yes, that was when we was testing the pumps and the logic. Okay, so we've got 0 alarms. So what we're going to do with these alarms is the client would want to see what alarms he has. At the moment he can't see anything from the web page, so we need to do something, or so he can see all the alarms. But first of all, before we do that, we will just write a little bit of logic. So I want my logic blocks, and I want an OR gate first, and we'll just call that act for the moment. And we've got 3 there, so pin slots, and we've got 3 there. So in alarm counts, so let's put that into there, that into there, and yeah, we're putting a boolean into a numeric into a boolean. And then let's just type in a boolean writable there, alarm ACT. We'll put that into there. Take out in 16. I'm not going to use in 16. Keep it nice and tidy. And we're going to do it for the act required as well. So duplicate that. OEQ. So the unact alarm count, put there. Have we got any unact alarms? So what happens if this goes to a 1, that 0 goes to a 1, that will go to a true signal. Let's change that to no alarms. Alarm. duplicate. We'll call that alarm ACK. Alarm ACK required. Put that into there. Change the text. Now I want a maximum block. And we'll put that as value. Okay. And I'm going to do some enum switches. So in enum switch, let's put some enum switches in here. Boolean switch, enum switch, and I'm actually wanting 3 of these. So ACT, let's do that capitals because we've already got an ACT. And we'll just configure this one first. Let's do the range here. So this will come apparent in a bit. So if I go 0, I am off, and if I go a 3, so we'll use 3 for an alarm. Alarm. Need to add that. So we can just put that as on rather than alarm. On, modify. Okay. 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 Save. Go back. And then duplicate. And ACK REQ. And that's going to be a 2, so it's 3 for alarm, a 2 for alarm, 2 for that. Yes, I know. And we don't want 3. Remove that. Okay. 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 Save. So currently, if I put that out into there, pin slots, we don't need that or that. Pin slots. We don't need them too. And I want to do one more. extra switches in there now. It'll come apparent in a bit, this. So 0 off, I want to change that to a 1 to enable alarms. Add 2 is going to be alarm requires ACK, and 3 we'll put as alarm present. Add 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay to that. Okay to that. Okay to that. Save that. And I'll just do a boolean there. Duplicate that. Enable alarms. This is for dashboard use, really, for the client. Take that in 10 out, so he will adjust that on the dashboard. We'll click up a set. We'll take out the in 10. And we'll put some text in there. Alarm enabled, alarms disabled. We'll set that to alarms enabled. In switch. I want that to be a 3 pin slots. I want that to be a 1. So why isn't it why am I getting a I know why. I know why. That's going to be a 2. And that's going to be a 3. one coming out at the moment. So that's new enum writable and alarm collector. And that's going to be exactly the same as that baby there. And that actually doesn't need all them bits in there. So let's just take out remove that, remove that. That would do. Slots. Take out in 16. Let's see how this works. Just expand that a bit more. Put that up one there. So alarms enabled. Let's just put that on. Actions, emergency active. Alarm requires an ACK. Actions, emergency active. Alarm present. And if actions, emergency inactive. That's off for that. We really need to tie that into something in a bit, so let's just leave that as it is. Emergency auto. And let's just take that off. Emergency auto. Still got a 3 there. Yeah. It's a maximum block. Emergency auto. And actually, if I did turn that, that's going to give me a 0. Emergency active. Emergency inactive. Off. Actions, emergency auto. So let's just make sure, because that's what they're going to be using, the client's going to be using, so we don't want them to do any emergency stuff on them. So views, AX slot sheet. You've seen me do this before in previous videos. Config flags, hidden. Config flags, hidden. I don't know whether you can do both at the same time. Yeah, you can. Makes life easier. Don't have to do them all at the same time. Press Control key, highlight the other one. Config flags, hidden. Then go back. Actions, just a set. Good. So that's the alarm collector. So this is mainly for graphic use only, and that's it. And what we can also do is do a add block. So in maths again, because we can display the alarm quantity on a nice box first. So we do ACT NO for number, and we can take this one, put it into there, that one, put it into there, and that one, put it into C. We pin that C, and we'll take out the decimal point because there's no way we're going to have a half an alarm. Just one number. So we can use that for graphic purposes, and duplicate that to ACT OEQ number. So untitled alarm, untitled alarm, untitled alarm. So all we're doing here is just for graphic purposes. Let me just tidy up that, because we can. Have two gaps, two spaces between them. Now let's go to the alarm console. So I've already got alarm set up on there, but I'll show you how to get to it. Alarms, alarms, and then you got your extensions for your alarms that goes onto a point, recipients, which is a console, and that's what we actually want. So we take that console recipient. This is be used for graphic uses only. We won't bother changing the name, and we'll take that alarm, route it into there, take that alarm, route it into there, and take that alarm and route it into there. Now we haven't got an email client set up here, but what we can do is just do emails. So let's just click on there and do email, in case you don't know how to do this. And email service, take that across, put it into there, and then we go down to email service, and an outgoing account, to send an email, and I'm just going to just drag that across onto email recipient, leave it exactly as it is, and I'm going to route alarm from there to there. Come on. Double click into there, and we're going to use that outgoing account, and we'll send it to, for now, Paul at maxking.org. You don't have to put the language in. You don't need to do that if you don't want to do that. And you can change that if you want to Niagara alarm from. I'm going to leave that text as it is currently. Save that. Now into my email service. Just going to put a simple email account in there now. So I'll do skin.uk. I'll just use port 25. An account. I'll just use mine. You'd normally set up an account for this, and I have got one set up, but I can't remember what it was. I'm having a problem remembering my password as well. Reply to I don't know, engineer at engineer UK. We're using port 25 for sending, so we don't need to use the SSL or use start TSL. That's it. Use authentication. Yes, we do need that ticked. And save that. So we've got a status OK, but that could change. It's going to poll every 1 minute, so it could change that. And if it is, I've got the wrong password in. So anyway, not worried about that at the moment. So we've set up the console. So if we double click that, that's what the client sees. But at the moment, we've got no alarms. Let's actually create an alarm. So we know we've got our CT pumps here. I'm pressing Control key to open up another tab. Well, double clicking that. So I've got now 2 tabs open: alarm service and control and CT pumps. Pump 1 is running at the moment, so let's put pump 1 into a fault. Actions, emergency active. So we'll get an alarm coming up here. Here we go, so there's our alarm. So go back to the alarm service, and we've got a maintenance alarm here, and it's not act at the moment, so we've got an alarm present. So let's now double click this. So again, I'm going to press Control key and double click that to open up another tab. There's my alarm. So the alarm class is maintenance, pump 1 has failed. So let me clear the alarm, fault, emergency auto. So that's now cleared. It's still in alarm, so let's just do a reset. Via the reset, so that alarm's now cleared now. But see where it's saying unact alarm here, unact alarm. So we'll go back to our alarm service, and this is now off. We don't have any alarms, but we do have still an unact alarm. So hence the client will see, okay, we've had an alarm, it's gone healthy again, but we haven't acknowledged it. So they would go click on there. So it's green, so that's nice, that's fine, but it's still one unact alarm. It's telling you what the pumps were, so that's the CT pumps folder, which is this folder here, and it's pump 1 failed. The reason for that is if we've got let's just duplicate that and put VT pumps, variable temperature pumps, instead of constant temperature pumps. So we've got variable temperature pumps as well. And if we views wire sheet, you can now see all your logic that we wrote is now in another folder called VT pumps. So if we set that going, stop, and we fail it, I'll just go inside and fail it, inside the folder, and we fail that one. So which one's running first? None of them are running. Disable. Let me just fire that. Actions, fire. Okay, so pump 1 is running. Let's fail it. Actions, emergency active. Pump 2's running now. Pump 1's failed. The reason it was stopping on, as in the previous video, because we've got a 10-second off delay. So that's good. We'll take off the alarm. We'll do a reset of the pumps. Well, before we do that, we'll go into alarm service. You can see alarm present 3, so we're in an alarm at the moment. And let's open up the console recipient so you can see that. So I'm pressing Control key to open up another tab on my keyboard, double clicking that. So we've got the CT pumps failed but not being acknowledged yet, and the VT pump is in alarm with the red symbol. So let's take it back out of alarm. So reset this. So now we should have 2 greens, which we have, but again unacted. So if we look at the alarm service, you can see that we've got act there, and we've actually got 2 of them. So you can bring that across to the graphics for the client to see. So you can say, oh, okay, without even going into the alarm console, it can be on the front page down at the bottom, some nice coloured boxes, and it can say, okay, we've got 2 unacted alarms. And then you can click on that, and once he clicks on that, he goes straight into this console recipient here, and then he can acknowledge them. So let's acknowledge them. So they've been acknowledged, they've cleared. So let's go back. So enable alarms, but that's off, 0 count. And that's actually going to have been emailed to the client. That's if I got my password right for my email account. But you can set up a Gmail account, a Yahoo account. So the queue size is 6 there, and it's down. So that means I've put the wrong password in for my email account. So I can't show you an email, but if I had the right password in, that would be reading 0, and that would be reading 6, i.e. 6 of them have been sent. But there is a poll failure here. Masking UK timed out. So it would be because of my password. But now I normally don't use port 25. I use a secure port for sending alarms. But I know that my port 25 is also open as well. Okay, I think that is it for this video, giving you an idea of how to set up alarms. You don't need all the boxes that I've put in here. All you need is alarm console and an email if you're going to send out an email. You don't need all this lot up here. The reason I've done that is it's nice for the graphics to give you an idea that the client can see straight away how many alarms are active, how many alarms or systems are in alarm. So it's a nice to have, and I do this on most of my sites now. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Have a good one.